How's it going, everybody? Dom here. In this video, we're going to talk about what I'd do if I was starting over and learning how to code again during a recession. So, right now at the time of recording this video, we are in kind of a tech recession. It is getting a little bit better, but LinkedIn just announced a bunch of layoffs. So, if I were to go back in time, I'd tell you what I would personally do. So, I'll address some of the common things that people think of when they're learning how to code and what to do if specifically you're in a recession doing so. So one of the first things that people do is, maybe I should go to boot camp, right? And what my answer to that would be is don't do it. Why do I say don't do it? The reason I say don't do it is because one of the appeals of a coding boot camp is the connections and the speed. You learn to code in 12 weeks, you get out. The coding bootcamp has some sort of connection to, some companies. However, you do have to pay a significant amount of money, right? It's not going to be as bad as a computer science degree at a typical American university, but you're going to still pay 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand. I think there's all the way up to 30 grand for those coding bootcamps. So what you want to do instead is you want to go the self-taught route, because honestly, even if they do have connections, you're probably not going to be able to take advantage of them, right? Because during a recession, especially when, people are getting laid off, there's a lot of people that are going to be entering the job market. So as a result, the requirements from employers are going to get much stricter. So they're going to favor people who went to traditional computer science or STEM degrees rather than boot camp grads, right? Unfortunately, that's the way it is. I wish it wasn't that way, but if you can avoid boot camps during the period of a layoff. Now that I addressed that, let's talk about, what you should learn, how you should approach it during a layoff. Or not a layoff, but during a recession. So what you want to do is you want to focus on mastering one language, an easy language, something like Python that has a lot of use cases, right? The reason I say that is because let's just say that you are passionate about mobile dev like I am, right? Mobile dev now is not, during the time of a recession, is not really the time of year to learn your passion. It's a time to have something that is broadly in demand as opposed to your passion. So this is kind of a special case during a recession where, you want to learn the language that most jobs are looking for rather than the one that you're going to be passionate about. And you really want to fight to get to that point where you're competent about that. I understand, and I've talked about this in previous videos, how if you stick with the language that you're passionate about, you're more likely to stick through the learner's curve, which is the hardest thing to get over. However, you just got to tough it out during a recession, because what you want to do is you want to give yourself the best chance to get yourself and land yourself a position. And the only way to do that really is to learn a language that is widely used in the industry. So at the time of this recording, I still see a lot of JavaScript. I still see a lot of Python. I'm seeing quite a few AWS. However, I wouldn't go into the whole cloud thing. I think your best bet, if you were to go back and learn, is going to be either JavaScript or Python. Just choose one. They're both pretty easy to learn, and that's probably what I would do, right? So after you finish learning one language, you want to start learning the other language. Now, why do I say this? Well, if you start learning two languages at the same time, it's going to take you a lot longer to actually get good at one or both of the languages. So focus on learning one language at a time and then learn the other high demand language as a result. This way, you now have kind of a broad field of very in-demand languages that you can use for your employers, right? So then at that point, you want to start applying to employers, and you want to start applying with those particular languages, with those languages that you just learned. Do your projects, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, right? So another thing that you want to do early on in your programming journey is start linking up with people in the industry and start getting a social following together. So what you want to do is you want to post how you're learning, I don't know, functions in Python, right? Or you're learning data structures, like I'm learning, I don't know, binary search in Python, and it's really interesting. Just focus on building that following and start following engineering managers, start following recruiters, start following all these people. Because over time, when you are ready to go on the active job hunt, now recruiters all know your name, engineering managers know your name, they know your journey, they've been watching, and it's just a way for them to kind of to see how fast you learn and stuff like that. Because truthfully, for most entry-level developers, you pretty much know nothing, right? So you have to display how fast you learn as one of your redeeming qualities. And the next thing is, what you want to do is you want to go after small startups, right? During a layoff, there's going to be an excess of talent, right? There's going to be a lot of people who have very impressive resumes that are more impressive than yours. And there's nothing really you can do about it, because you can't go back in time and fake your way into working at Google, being an ex-Google, ex-Facebook tech lead, right? So what you need to do is you need to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel, unfortunately, and go after the positions that might not pay as well, might not have the best work-life balance. Maybe they are required to be on call. That's not to say that, you know, these like really impressive engineers aren't applying to those positions, but they're not as desired as they are. All the FANG people and all the boot camp grads and all the self-taught people all want to go after FANG. But the problem is, FANG is very competitive, and during a period of recession, they're going to probably go towards people who are ex-FANG, because they're kind of proven entities rather. So that's probably what I'd do if I was going back in time and I was learning how to code. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that like, comment, tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below, and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel. And in a future video, what I'm going to talk about is job hunting during a recession. So make sure you stay tuned for that video, and I'll see you in the next one.